You are on motive today.
I'm so scared.
Why are you scared? Why are you scared?
No, I'm cool.
Yeah, no, don't be. Motive, as you know, being a channel that wants to speak about the extraordinary efforts that ordinary people do to change other people's lives. You are one of those people. I just invited you today to please talk to us about the work that you do. Where do you get the power to get into the mind of a young person? Let's shoot. You are Bongani Kaba. Welcome to Motel.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So please tell us about the work you do, my friend.
Wow, what I do, I think it's a resemblance of my life. Basically, what I do is I facilitate icebreakers, I facilitate team buildings, I facilitate leadership skills. So that's basically what I do, but more importantly, through my facilitation is that I'm trying to impact people's lives. Yeah, that's the message that I send out there to say I wanna provoke the human in the person or in the character that people are playing, because I believe that everyone is playing a certain character. But what I do is that I want that human being that's inside of you, not the character that you're giving us every now and then. So that's basically what I do. Yeah, man.
Okay, make an example of that. Let's say we told a young person that hides who they are. So who hides in this case is ekhaya or unabangani. Let's khuluma ngabangani.
Sure.
Unabangani aba different groups of friends.
Sure.
And in all these groups of friends, we represent different people.
So let me make an example with myself. I think it would resonate well. What happened is that at home, I was this person who didn't have a voice. So every time at home, I had no one to speak to. I didn't have a proper relationship. Either my mother or my father or my siblings and cousins. But when I'm outside, I become alive. So the real person now is coming out. But when I'm home, I'm portraying a certain character. But there's something that's aching inside of me that's wanna come out. But I don't have a voice, I don't have a platform. So when I'm outside, I like playing, I like all those things. So I become alive. So hence I'm saying, when I'm outside, through the games that I like playing, that's the real person that's coming out. So the character is no longer there.
Okay.
I'm me there. Yes, the real me.
Okay. I hope we get a chance to also play a game. We need to create a game now for Motive for this interview and challenge the thinking process.
Okay.
Because I know your games.
Yeah.
When you do your games, you involve people, you order people to cooperate and forced to communicate with one another.
Yes, I think one of the reasons why I do that is because life is tough out there. So people are having less fun out there. So what I do is that I normally say to people, you can have fun through your work. So that's what I display. I show them that my work is fun, but it's still work and it's me. So whether you're in an office or wherever, you can still do the same and be you, but still producing the results that you are required to produce.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
The workshop I first saw you at was in Limpopo.
Yes. Limpopo.
Yeah.
TV and music industry. Yes.
Yeah. What's your home language?
I'm not really sure, hey?
Yeah,
I'm not really sure because I started school grade 1 I was doing Sesotho, and then from grade 2 I did Setswana, but at school I was forever speaking Zulu, so I'm no longer sure what's my home language. Because at home there's Zulu people, there's Sotho people, and
what do you choose to be then?
I'm South African, that's what I say.
Okay. No, that's why you fitted in Limpopo, man.
Yeah, man, yeah, I represent African.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in a space where you find people not speaking your language, what helps you to still make them understand the facilitation process?
Well, I think I grew up in soccer. So playing soccer, you have different coaches, and normally in soccer they would tell us that the language is the same. It's all about football. So my facilitation is the language. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My facilitation is the language. So through the games that I do, the understanding is common. I understand. Mm-hmm. So we're speaking the same language through that those games that we do, but at the same time impacting and trying to change and challenge themselves.
What got you into doing facilitation, youth program facilitation? How did you start?
I don't think I'm sure how did I start. But I think I was forever doing this facilitation, but I didn't know it was facilitation.
Ready? Jump in! Jump in! Jump out! Jump out! Jump in! Jump in! Jump out! Jump out! Jump right! Jump right!
It's one of the things in the business of music. People used to say, when you do this, you are so good. But I didn't know that I can make a living out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you created employment for yourself.
Of course, and I must also mention, I started taking it seriously when I was invited by a certain company, Right Click. So they do icebreakers and stuff like that. So they wanted people to come. So they gave me a call, I went. And I was like, these guys are making money with this. I do this without being paid.
Yeah.
And I don't think about these things. I think on the spot. Like now I can see there's this whatever. This scoop here. I can make something out of it. So that's when I started to say, you know what? Let me pursue this thing. I think this thing is needed. There's a market for it. And again, another thing is that I always say to people, use what you have.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So what I have is that I have my games. So that's basically what I'm going to do. I didn't have money to go to that place or buy this thing, buy whatever that's needed. But I can use a plastic, I can use anything that's there. I use it to create something and make it.
So what makes the team that you are working with in the games you choose to play want to follow through? You know, we go to seminars and lectures, and you feel like you want to walk out, but now you are thinking you'll be the first one to walk out. At least, but you are bored.
I think, like I said, that life is too hard out there. People are swamped with problems and stuff like that. But then, as I've said earlier, that I wanna provoke the human in you, and the real human in a person is that person when they were still young. Remember when we were still young, we used to enjoy games. We used to have dreams and stuff like that. So I bring that and say, I'm reminding you of the real you, who you are. To say, these are the things that you used to do. And it's still applicable to this day. The very same thing. Hence, it's easier for people to follow through. Whether it's be it in a conference, be it corporate, whatever. It's easier for them to just follow through because it reminds them of the real person that they are. So it's kind of like much easier. It just comes naturally to be you than to play a certain character. Yeah.
What do you think the problem here youth as South Africa? Yini?
Ish, that's a difficult one because bazonyidla labantu. Bazonyidla ngamazinyo. But I think we have created a system in South Africa that we have created a dependent youth. So I'd say our youth is more dependent than self-dependent. So we're relying on handouts, we're relying on what's available to get from point A to B. Whereas I always say, with what you have, you can do something. Hence today, every time there's a wave, so there'll be a wave of, let's say, there's a post, they want nurses. Every youth would go there, knowing very well that they're not passionate about that thing. Not very well that they don't see themselves before they do that thing. You get what I'm saying? That is why I'm saying we're relying on handouts and we are so dependent on the government or, I don't know, the structure as a whole. So that's why that's the fundamental problem that we have. I believe if we can take our lives into our hands and say, I'm owning up to my life, let me do something. Let me not wait for the next person to do something for me. Then I believe we have it in us to create whatever that we want. We have it in us.
So what makes people lazy, man? What makes people lazy?
What makes
Because from what you're saying, you're making me realize that others will go out there and do the things that bring the money they want.
Yeah.
Others decide that we are going to steal that money they would have made.
Yeah.
Others decide to think that I want to con artist this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna con you, I'm gonna make you believe in me for something that's not there. But in reverse,
I think
I'm still stealing.
one of the problems that we have is that we want instant gratification. We don't want to work for things. We want to enjoy before working. And work should come first and then we enjoy. Hence, it's easier for people to say, I can just go there and steal. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know whether it's a matter of them being lazy, but self-belief more than anything, self-worth. Because I think most of us young people in the country, we don't believe in self-worth. We don't believe that we are worthy of getting X, Y, Z. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? That's the problem that we have, to say, you look at your life, you look at where you come from, and you're like, no, me and Sentin, like, yes, you understand? You see Sentin only on TV, and you think that there are people who are made to be there. You get what I'm saying? Hence, it's easier for me to go and steal. But if we can really work and say, what do I have? And I always say, what we have, it's always inside of us. We don't have to look outside of us. It's always what we... And the passion, everyone has a passion, man. Everyone has a passion. Even though you don't know what you want to do. Because as I've said it earlier, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I knew,
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I knew I don't want to sit in an office the whole day. I knew I don't want to be working at a firm wearing my overalls the whole day. I can't be in one place because remember my childhood, it's from my childhood, that's where all these things are coming from. So I was at a space at home whereby I couldn't be myself. So now when I want to work, I wanted to be myself. So to express myself, I have to be in different places most of the time. That's why I become alive.
That sounds very true.
Yeah.
It's important to recreate. It's game time.
Are we cool to go?
Yes.
So you're gonna join me, ne?
Yes, I can try that.
So we're just gonna play a game for now, just to see if the games that we do, they relate to real life. So what we're going to have is we're going to have a bucket full of water, and we're going to use cups. They'll stand in a straight line, and we have this ball. So what's going to happen is that this ball, we're going to put this ball inside the first cup, and we're going to pour water, just little water in all these cups, just little water. And the idea is to transport this ball from the first cup to the last one, but without using our hands. So that means now we have to be creative and use our energy, use our mouth if needs to, but we have to use what's available more than anything. So let's go, let's play, let's see if it will work. I was given things, these things I didn't come with. I didn't brought them with me, so they gave me this. I had to think of something to make a game. So I have a bucket here and it has water. I have about 5 glasses there and they have water as well. And a little ball here. So the first cup it has a ball. And then I have another cup here that I'm going to use to transport so the purpose of the game is that I have to transport the ball without touching it, without using my hands. I have to transport it to the last cup. So I'm going to be using this cup, and here, probably my mouth, my energy. I have to be creative. But this game, I have to be honest, I saw it on YouTube as well. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's where I do most of my learning. So we go, and then at the end of the day, we have to explain again that whatever that we're trying to play, it has to be to relate to real life. So we're going to explain afterwards why we're playing, how is it applicable to our lives. So I'm starting, so I'm filling this cup with water, putting more water into this cup until the ball is evaporates. So the trick is I have to transport it to another class now.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm gonna use my energy and my mouth for it. Hopefully it'll work. Wow. Okay, let's do this again. Hey, uyabona sengithelwa nami manje. Yes! So we've just played the game and you saw that, yeah, there was water, lots of water there, so you have to be brave. So the idea is that I look at the ball, the first thing is the ball. I look at the ball, I see my life, I see your life. I see this ball being a representation of our lives. So every one of us, if this is our life, we find ourselves at the point whereby we are at a certain position inside this cup. And our lives are not supposed to be in this position. Our lives are supposed to progress towards the next step, the next step, and the next step. That is why we have to transport the ball from this cup to the next. That means there's progress with our lives. So the idea is, if this ball is not transported to the next step, it means my life is stagnant. It means I'm not doing anything with my life. It means probably I'm just waiting for luck to strike. So it's all up to me to say, let me put in the effort to transport my life, to take my life to the next step. So, as I've said, you use what you have. What do you have? We have used water from the bucket. So what does the bucket and the water represent? This is where it's a representation of what we have inside of us. It's a representation of our mind, of our soul. So inside the bucket, the water represents what we have inside of us, the energy that we need. The water represents the energy. The water represents the will. The water represents the power that we have. So we have to go and withdraw from the bucket to transport our life. So what's probably the question that I have is, what's your bucket full of? What's your mind full of? What do you have in your mind? What are you feeding your mind? Is it either negative things or positive things? Because for me, it should be a bucket filled with positive things. It should be a bucket filled with inspiration. So it depends on what do you have in your bucket. Your bucket is your life. Your bucket is a source of energy. Your bucket is a source of inspiration. So every now and then we have to go towards the bucket and withdraw we throw that inspiration, we throw that power, we throw that energy. What do you have in your bucket? What do you have in inside yourself? What is it that you have in your mind? What is it that's aching inside of you? Everyone has it inside of us. So we don't have to look far from us. Everything that we need is within. So for our lives to go towards the next step, it means now I have to go back to where my bucket is.
I'll rejoice, this is my time.